Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So this moment right here kind of brings me back to the last time I lived in Wyoming and I had the Army Green Tundra because I am tucked away in my garage. You can't tell, but it is wicked windy today. So it's going to remain in here as I talk through one of your favorite topics. I say that tongue-in-cheek, but that's dealership markups. You guys know about 10 days ago I launched my Untamed Motors LLC, auto brokerage and negotiation services. And since launching it, I had called probably comfortably over 200 different dealerships across the United States. And gosh, I tell you what, it is so upsetting to see how many dealerships, to be fair, this is Toyota dealerships that I called, all Toyota, right? It's upsetting to see how many of them are still trying to sport greedy dealership markups. And I'm not even talking like $5,000 markups. The vast majority of them are trying to sport 10, 15, and a couple over $20,000 markups on their TRD Pros. And I find it so sickening that even at this point in time, they're still trying to do that. And honestly, not even sickening, it's pathetic, I would say, at this point, that they're trying to just scratch every last dollar out of people, even when the writing is on the wall, times are changing, inventory is coming back up, rates are rising. They know that they are not in a position to be doing that right now, right? The writing is totally on the wall. So this time next year, I would argue that they're going to be begging to make some sales, and especially the dealerships that are doing the markups. It's such a nearsighted business model, business plan to be doing that. It shows zero regard for loyal customers, has zero regard for trying to obtain returning customers, right? It's just trying to make a quick buck off of people. Yesterday I called a dealership. I mean, I've gotten similar lines, similar quotes from people, but yesterday in particular, it stuck with me. This Toyota, I'll say it, Keating Toyota, is down in Texas. The sales manager tells me, hey, no, times are tough right now, right? And we need to do markups in order to stay in business, he tells me. So not only is that a blatant lie, they do not need to do markups to stay in business. And if they do, again, they need to look at their business model. They're a franchise for a dealership. And they make plenty of money to sell a vehicle at MSRP, and they have enough of a cushion. They should have enough of a cushion to continue employment for their people, through the quote unquote tough times, which I find it so counterintuitive too. They say, times are tough. So why do they got to take advantage of people and try to steal $10,000, $15,000 from them? Times are tough, so I'm going to take advantage of you. So I don't know. Sorry guys, as you can tell, I am passionate about it. It bothers the crap out of me for sure. But in this video, I'm gonna wrap it up with what you should be doing if you're calling around. You're trying to find, 4Runner TRD Pro or a Tundra TRD Pro or even a Sequoia TRD Pro. You're trying to find one, or Tacoma, right? And if you find a dealership who's trying to sport a greedy dealership markup, my recommendation to you is to let them know that, hey, why aren't you charging MSRP? Let them know. Let them backpedal a little bit. Tell them, even if it is uncomfortable for you a little bit, say, hey, that seems kind of greedy. Shouldn't you be charging what Toyota wants you to charge? Shouldn't it be MSRP? Tell them that. Let them kind of flounder on it a little bit and let them know, say, hey, no, unfortunately I won't be giving you my business now or in the future, and I'll be providing a 1-star review. Let them know that. So when I say that out loud, some of you are like, oh, gee whiz, cool. A 1-star review, that's not going to do anything. You're right. Oh my God. Welcome to Wyoming, ladies and gentlemen. Some tumbleweed action. Okay, all right. Oh, we're gonna take out the dog. Okay. So, where was I? So, do a 1-star review for them. Although, you're right, it isn't gonna do much. But pretend, 10, 15 people did a 1-star review for a dealership a day, or even 10, 15 people did it a week. Here in a couple months, that will have an obvious digital black eye for the dealership. So do it. Your voice does matter, and let them know that. Especially if, speaking of voice matters, a lot of the sales reps, if you're not talking to, a general sales manager or sales manager of any type, they'll often give you the line of, hey, I don't set the prices, I just work here. Or I don't set the prices, I'm just a sales rep. Although true, their voice does matter. And I encourage you guys to let the sales rep know that. Say, hey, your voice matters. You should be charging MSRP there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be providing you with my business. and I'm going to be doing a 1-star review for you. And do a 1-star review. Take the 5 minutes out of your day and do it, because I think over time that will do enough damage. So especially when we get out of this, right? So excuse me. So come next year, inventory is going to be back up, and they're going to be really struggling to try to make a bunch of sales. Whereas up until this point, last 2 years, they've been, every time a vehicle hits the lot, they're quick to sell it. So which forced them to, again, it's a free market. Let me loosely talk out of both sides of my mouth, but that's what forced them to talk or to charge the markups for people. But the good dealerships are out there. The honest ones who care about returning customers and loyal customers are out there. So props to them. If you are one of those dealerships who charge MSRP through the pandemic, you truly are a five-star dealership. So props and hats off to you. So, and I know you exist, as I've found a number throughout my search here. So let me know what your experiences have been. And more importantly, let's try to help each other out here in the comments. Go and leave a comment and say, hey, if you did have a positive experience with the dealership, let's not focus too much on the negative in the comments. Share your positive experience and let everybody know, like, hey, such and such dealership charged me MSRP a couple months ago. Let people know that, and share the positivity. I think that can go a long way. And one thing that I'm doing for you guys, as I call all these dealerships, I have an Excel spreadsheet, and I annotate what the dealership is, of course, where they're at, their location, the rep that I spoke with, the name of the rep, and the markup that they try to milk, that they try to charge. So I'm annotating all the greedy dealerships right now, as well as, on the contrary, the dealerships that are doing it right and charging MSRP. So I'm creating that list, and I will on occasion share that with you guys too, just so you guys have a good starting point for phone calls. So all this is to try to prevent people from getting milked, and oftentimes they don't even realize it. People go to a dealership, they see a really cool TRD Pro, they're like, heck yeah, I love that. And they just may not be so familiar with the whole buying process, and they get taken advantage of. The dealers, the sales rep, they trick them into thinking that they have to pay a $10,000 markup if they're going to get this vehicle, and that there's no other way for them to ever get that vehicle, as if they can't shop out of state, right? So that kind of stuff bothers me. So let's just try to help educate each other and point each other to the right direction. So forgive me, got a little passionate during this chat here, but over the last 10 days, I tell you what, I found it so frustrating to see how many dealerships are still trying to do it, even now. It kind of blows my mind, as if they don't know what the next year or two truly is looking like. The turn's already happening. People are seeing the shift in the used vehicle market. So, I mean, it's already happening, and they know that too, but they're just trying to capitalize on every last waking second of it. So that's the unfortunate truth. So I'll leave it at that. I'll stop blabbing on here, but let me know what your thoughts are. Appreciate you watching as always. Till next time.